Elizabeth had just lost her husband to a fatal disease. She was very angry. She had cried out to God, asked God for healing, and the healing did not come. She had lost her son 6 years earlier in a fatal helicopter accident. Her son was in the military. He'd always wanted to go into service. He was in the service. He made the rank of sergeant as an enlisted guy. And the helicopter went down in a freak accident, and 6 of the lives of the military on board were all taken. She'd lost her son, now her husband. She was angry, she was bitter. So pastors in the community had come by and knocked on the door, and she slammed the door back in their face. I don't want to hear from anybody. She shut herself off from the world. Deacons and elders who were trained in house visitations, she shut them all out. She wouldn't have anything to do with them. Finally, a lady that lived 4 doors down in her neighborhood that walked that sidewalk every day and walked by her house kept praying for her. Just kept praying for her. Then she felt a prompting. She baked some fresh bread. She left it on the front porch on the rocking chair, and she knocked on the door, and she just left. Next week, she brought by some homemade brownies, knocked on the door, walked on down the sidewalk. Next week after that, she bought a meringue pie, knocked on the door, and just left. The 4th week, if I had known it had been on the front door, I probably would have been tempted to steal it. She brought a chocolate silk pie. Left a note on, I'm just throwing out a FYI. She put a note on top of it and said, 3 years ago, I lost my husband to cancer. Not a day I don't think about him. Not a day I don't miss him. If you ever want to talk, here's my number. Love, Sarah. 2 days later, Elizabeth called Sarah. They went out and had lunch together. Elizabeth said, I'm buying after 4 desserts. 6 months later, 20 women would get together every Thursday morning at 10 a.m. and had a Bible study, helping other women deal with grief and suffering as they're trying to understand the grace of God. And one of the women afterwards said, Elizabeth, I don't understand. We've got some really good pastors in our community, and we've got a lot of good deacons and elders and other leaders that are trained. Why is it you shut the door in the face of every one of them? Why is it that Sarah was able to get to you when nobody else could? She said something so beautiful, I've never forgotten it. Elizabeth said, Sarah built a bridge from her heart to my heart, and Jesus Christ walked over that bridge into my life. Sarah built a bridge from her heart to my heart, and Jesus Christ walked over that bridge into my life. Folks, that's what I'm talking about.